Hi, I'm Kellyanne Cass and welcome to this channel, Stone the Crone. I'm in Melbourne. How exciting is that? So we were doing like the touristy things today, like you do when you go to a place you've never been before, because this is my first trip to Melbourne ever. And I really shouldn't have left it this long in my life to get here, but it is what it is and we are here now. So what do you do when you go to Melbourne? Well, of course you go check out the old jail. That's a must do. I mean, especially somebody who like me, who loves the sense of the macabre and anything that has to do with death, bones, and of course, death masks. So, of course, there's an opportunity for me to actually get up close to the death mask of Ned Kelly, and the other death masks that they had in the old jail here, which was really, really cool. Quite interesting stories of both men and women. And this is what brought me to do this little video today. But first of all, before I actually tell my little story, I just want to say a big sorry for not being able to do a watch along with Adelaide's Kelly J. Keane Let Women Speak event, because unfortunately the timing with my flight getting to Melbourne just didn't pan out. And by the time I'd hit the cab to get to the hotel, the event had just been winding up. So I had to watch it myself before I went to bed last night and catch up on it. I really like to watch these things in real time if I can, because there is just something powerful about witnessing brave women and wicked women and my wise women and these amazing women in real time. So, having said that, in the jail, in the old jail, we went and did the tour. So we paid out a little bit, we paid our money, and we did the tour. And so we went in behind this door, greeted by a female police officer who, you know, sort of did a bit of a theatrical sort of thing and read off cards and picked different people out and sort of gave us the whole criminal kind of feel and vibe, which is, you know, it's novel to have a bit that. But I think for me, what really irritated me and sort of burned my noodle as the turfinator, as Rex Landy has been called, is the change of language that the lady who was organising the tour had used. And she was saying that when they first built the jail and they first started having to put people in there, it was just after the gold rush. And originally it was a jail for mixed gender. Yes, you heard that right, mixed gender. And we know that that is absolutely not a fact. It was for mixed sex, not gender. So that really, really, really kind of pissed me off, because not everybody there was self-aware of the change of language that this woman was using. So she said that originally it was mixed gender, so it was women, men and children in that jail. And then that they realised that obviously this didn't work because of the numbers of male inmates to female inmates and of course children, because a lot of women have to have their children with them in jail. I still believe it's up to 5, but don't quote me, in Queensland prison. So you can sort of have, you know, in a lot of women's jails or women that are incarcerated and they've got young children, their young children are allowed to be with them in these facilities. And this is another big reason why we can't really be allowing men who identify however they want in with women, because not only are they the women's facilities, but in a lot of cases there's women and children facilities there. So they acknowledged that there was a big difference between the numbers of men committing crimes and women committing crimes, and they did something about that, and that was build the men's prison and house the men in that area, and then house the women in their own separate unit. And we were able to see that today. So we were able to do a tour of the men's facilities as well as the females' facilities. And then the couple of women's death masks that they had there was a woman who had, so her and her husband had come from Tasmania. Her husband had left her. She ended up being a prostitute and having a child. And this child, of course, crying. It was a time where they couldn't feed themselves. So she had drowned her baby, this son, in the river. And, of course, had been found out, and she had been, the death sentence had been pursued upon her for it, and her mask was there. But here's the thing, right? So we are literally going backwards in time. We're regressing as humanity. You know, we've gone from what they say it was an all gender prison, which is not true. It was all sex, mixed sex. And then from there, they realized they had to segregate it. And then now they're literally saying that gender, not sex. So gender means anyone who identifies as a woman or anyone that identifies as a male. And I really find it hard to believe that there's going to be a whole bunch of women really dying to identify as a man to get into male estates. I still think these women will be, you know, if they were to do anything wrong and then they would be going into a male estate, they'll be quickly backpedaling and going, oh, not me, I'm a woman. You know, because I certainly wouldn't want to be put in the male's estate myself. I just thought, isn't it easy to change history when you can just change a word or two? Just a word or two changes the whole thing. So we're literally regressing as a society. I mean, Steph Hughes in Queensland has done all the work on getting the freedom of information of how many men are in Queensland prisons, how many women are in Queensland prisons, and at the moment we're about 10,000 men in Queensland prisons versus 900 women in Queensland prisons. There's currently 60 men, about, these are rounded numbers, so please keep that in mind. There's currently about 60 men that identify as women currently housed in Queensland prisons, and they will be then under self-ID. They said that they will be tested and they'll be, but we know this is not going to be true. I mean, there's no, when we, myself and a lovely TERF, and I want to talk about this another time, but we went and seen the Minister for Police, the MP for Police at Caboolture, and some of he says was really, really dodgy. But I do want to, HJ and I are going to talk about that once I get back to Brisbane, so I don't want to go back into too much about that. But at the end of the day, we've already got males who identify in female prisons as females that have already had the snip and flip. So just say maybe there's 10 to 20 of them men already housed in women's prison. You're going to add 60 extra men who identify as women in there. So you're literally looking going to be 10% of women in Queensland's prison will actually be biological men who identify, or their gender expression is a woman. And that's very, very problematic, if, you know, to say the least. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Tomorrow is going to be a huge, big day. So we're at Melbourne, off to the Parliament House. We are going to be doing some live streaming from there. I want to get a heap of TERFs, if I can, to come have a chat with me and speak about why they've come to this event and why they find it important. So it's not going to be just a mirror image live stream of what Kelly J. Keane does, but I really want to actually get in and talk to the Brisbane. Oh, sorry, the Melbourne. We're in Melbourne. The Melbourne Toven here. So I love you for now, and I'll talk to you later. Remember, even if you have to fly to another state, stay loud, my friends. I always do. So, stay loud, my friends. Till tomorrow, staying out.